Hey everybody, this is Rydo and we're back to Assassin's Creed 2. Let's continue. So, we are finally into the beginning of the game. Hours and hours of playing. We are in our assassin stronghold. We know that there's a sign here, a barcode to get. So let's go ahead and get that and unlock the next piece of the truth. I suppose we are going to get them all. It would not be really that difficult for me to find them all, I guess. I could look up a walkthrough. Do I have to climb up over here and then hang?
It's getting easier and easier to hack into Abstergo's mainframe. It's like I know what data I'm looking for. I've already lived it.
So, is it the fact that Subject 16 maybe learned some hacking from a previous ancestor? That might explain a lot, I suppose, as far as the hacking ability of the girl we've seen. Which, by the way, we have not left that area. Is that it? Leading your young to their end. I'm looking for, I think I'm looking for a piece of Eden. The flames from its throat poke out of its eyes. So we're looking for eyes? I don't know what's happening here. Whether I'm actually succeeding or failing. The monster did not come from man. See, I think I'm just hitting A here. Well, that one finally messed up. The monster. Oh, all of a sudden I see this barcode hidden in the middle of this. The first pictorial representation of a gun. What am I trying to click on? Oh, this game is so consistent about telling you the wrong stuff. It's like Am I looking for the apple? See, it seems like I just incredibly easily surpassed everything. Ah, there it is. So, apparently you didn't have to click on anything in the first three pictures. Or I accidentally clicked on the right thing for the first 3 times. And then took several attempts to do the last one. It just feels unfinished, honestly, this whole part of the game. And so, the weirdness here is, even if you have 19 of these, and we see all of them, until you get 20, you don't really get the real picture. You really don't get the cinematic. So there's a barcode that was hacked into the game. As for what actually happened in the history, I'm supposed to go... Well, I guess I could go synchronized. Might help a little bit. I'm supposed to go buy my equipment, so then my Uncle Mario can explain to me that I'm an assassin, and what an assassin is, because I have no idea. Although, they seem to have taught me eagle vision fine. We know that's not something just Desmond has, because the father specifically told him to use eagle vision to find the equipment he's wearing now. This is a good example of where the architecture, and I believe this area actually is based off an actual like city or something that they spent a lot of time doing a one-to-one representation of this, probably to wasting energy and taking vacations to Florence, which is where I think we are, right? Florence. But you can see here the game needs this crow's nest piece to synchronize. It really doesn't connect well to this building. They could have saved themselves a lot of effort if they just had spots on the map where if you stood at a certain height level you could hit Y and synchronize, and that would be it. So here we are, we're going to learn about the shops. Buy a pair of greaves and a dagger. Stupid mouse. I wish there was a way to fix that so it would go away. So leather greaves increase our health and increase our resistance. And we have 5,000 feelings, 2,000 of which were given to us. And then a dagger. Now there's a decent collection of weapons here, but there's really only one that you really want. They don't have mutually exclusive abilities, and you do have to repair them now. While this, to access your weapon, select your dagger. So, no longer this. Armor increases your maximum health. So synchronization no longer will increase my maximum health. And so if I want this, I have to kind of select it. And you have this little dagger, which you'll never use. And the sword is the real thing you'll always use. In fact, it's kind of a weird system. This is always going to be heal, so it's always going to be left bump. This is always going to be your hidden blade, and it's always going to be up on the D-pad, left on the D-pad, right on the D-pad, down on the D-pad. And you really can't change it. So everything here and here are just small little additional things that you'll almost never use in the game. Here's our next goal. To come over to the bank and buy medicine. I already have medicine.
I'll be here should you change your mind.
So, fortunately, the game did not break there. It could have easily decided, no, you can't beat the game until you buy medicine, and then I would have had to run around and found a way to take some damage to then have the ability to use the medicine to buy more medicine. Here's the treasure. We can go ahead and loot this. Now, if you wanted just a small taste of the collections in this game, I would heavily recommend getting all the collectibles in this area. It is an easy area to play in. Nobody's going to attack you. There are no guards. It's small as all get out. And because of that, it's going to help really a lot. Now the inside looks a lot better than the outside.
Don't worry. We're only staying here for a little while.
I don't like it here. I want to go home.
Why?
No.
Why in the world would you not like it here? That is a pretty nice house. Alright. So, here's something that is kind of cool about this game and doesn't continue in any of the other games. You have this like collection room where as you get collectibles and as you get weapons, they will fill up all of this. So here we have our common sword, and as we find other swords, we will be able to see them, and you might even be able to equip them from there, which is rather nice. Now, that gives you a motivation if you have such motivations to buy everything. Here is your different outfits, which one of those outfits, I suppose, would be the Ezio Auditore. No, not Ezio Auditore, but Altair outfit, which I suppose if I did decide to ignore, get that and unlock that with Uplay points, then that would be there. Here sits the king of all Olympus, besides him stands the wisdom gods of Israel. So there's some statues here that will fill in when I do something. I don't know what, but 2 statuettes for each one of those. Over here, is there something hidden in this? So it's a really well fortified place, and I don't see any more things. Notice when you look at the sun, it's quite bright in eagle vision. Let's move forward with the story. Mario.
Salute, uncle. I did as you asked.
And quickly too, ben fatto. Now,
It really wasn't that quick.
No. As I said, we are leaving.
Ezio, you barely held your own against Vieri. You won't survive a week on the road. If you want to leave, so be it. But at least do so armed with the skills and knowledge necessary to defend yourself. If not for me, for your mother and sister.
Fine.
Ottimo.
So practice makes perfect. Learn how to fight. We're like 4-5 hours in the
You
game.
can swing a sword, to be sure, but offense alone will not carry a battle. You must survive long enough to strike. I will teach you how to dodge.
You said my father was more than just a banker.
No use dancing around it, I suppose. Your father was an assassin.
I told you before. My father was a paper pusher.
No, he was born and bred to kill.
I find this difficult to believe.
What of the list you carry? Do you think it's merely a catalog of debts? It holds the names of those responsible for your father's murder.
So I'm supposed to learn quick step there. This should have been the very first thing we did.
To avoid your enemy's attacks. Now you'll learn how to turn them to your advantage.
A lot of
All this
stuff I'm
talk
gonna
of
forget
assassins and
immediately.
Templars, it reeks of fantasy.
Like something from an old parchment covered in arcane writing, perhaps?
How did you know?
You have your father's blade. I figured you had a codex page he was holding as well.
Codex.
See, a guide to the inner workings of the order. Its origin, purpose, and techniques. Our creed, if you will. Your father believed the codex contained a powerful secret. Something that would change the world. Perhaps it's why they came for him.
So to lock on, it's actually the left trigger. This game is so bad. Press
You're
this to
just going
taunt
to
it.
stand there.
Let's get away from him a little bit and taunt him.
Che c'è? Aspetti il permesso del capitano.
Like, you're never
Bring
gonna
it
actually
on.
use this. I'm not gonna taunt somebody.
You're making fine progress, Ezio. Today I'm
Notice
going to
the
teach you how
time
to
of day
position
keeps
yourself in
changing.
battle. Where you stand and how you move can make all the difference.
They should have.
Don't think I haven't
made
seen
more
you picking
point.
apart my library. I trust you believe me now?
Yes, my father was an assassin. But why the need for such secrecy?
Are you familiar with the Templars? One of several knightly orders formed during the Crusades. History teaches they were disbanded nearly 200 years ago in France. Only they weren't. Merely pushed underground, where they continued their nefarious work.
What work?
The Templars seek dominion over man, and we, the assassins, are sworn to stand against them.
Was Uberto one of them?
Yes.
And the other names on my father's list?
So, the conversation there just ended. It's rather a lot of finicky stuff here I'm learning that I'll never actually do anything with. All you really need to do is tap left trigger to lock on, which you don't even really need to do that. And then tap X like crazy. Maybe there's more finesse to it. Maybe I can strafe and avoid hits, but you're never that low on health. You're never really needing that stuff.
Well done, Nipote. You've really come into your own.
Thank you, Uncle, for all you have given me.
Your family. Such is my duty and my desire.
So was that
you had me
over a
stay.
week or
Good.
a month
You've
or a
reconsidered
year?
deeply.
We sail for Spain in 3 days.
But Nipote, I have given you these skills that you might be better prepared to strike against our enemies.
And if they find me, I will.
You want to leave Ezio? To throw away everything your father fought and died for? To deny your heritage? Fine! Come voi. Arrivederci e buona fortuna.
Uncle, wait! Why is he so upset?
How can he not be? Vieri's been harassing us ever since you first arrived. To be expected, I suppose, given his heritage.
So, apparently I can't just leave. It would be a boring game if I did just leave anyways. So there's this sword here. I can kick it, but I can't... Oh, wait a minute. Guess I can pick it up. But you can't... You can't do anything with it. You just drop it down on the ground. So we move forward. Here is a model that I don't think we can do anything with right now, but eventually it will come into play. There's so much to this game and we still haven't gotten to half of it. Your income is 0 fiorins, which that'll eventually change.
Uncle! Where is everyone?
They ride for San Gimignano to slay that snake, Vieri.
I wish to join them.
You'll find what you need at the stables.
So that sequence is done. This seems to hold a round object. I wonder what it could be. Obviously it's going to be a piece of Eden. So, by the way, there's secrets galore in this room. Let's see, where did he go? He must be upstairs. So it's a big area. It's rather a lot nicer than the assassin's little building. I don't even know what you'd call it. Where does this go? All the way upstairs. It's a picture of somebody assassinated. I'll go ahead and take this money. Money at the beginning of the game is going to be better put to use if I'm careful than later at the game. If I recall correctly, I believe at a certain point I just hit the maximum. That may not be possible, and that may have been a different game, but it sure feels like that's what happened.
Ezio, look at her. I still can't get her to talk. She spends all day and night in front of those feathers Petruchio used to collect. She can't let them go. I don't know what to do.
Don't worry. She'll come back to us. I know it.
So here's more motivation to collect all 100 feathers. Place collected feathers in the chest in Maria's room. Right here. 0 of 100 feathers collected. Press this to place them. So 2 feathers collected now of 100. And you could do all of that for a special outfit. I don't know if it's really worth it. In fact, I can pretty much tell you it isn't. Art pieces you'll eventually get to buy, and it will fill in all of those. So a nice little facility that doesn't really ever come back as far as I've seen. I haven't played the most latest Assassin's Creed games, so maybe they finally do bring it back, but I don't think so. Fight practice. Talk to the trainer to practice your combat skills. If I speak
Good to see you, Ezio. Care for a bit of practice?
So, let's see what we could see. We could do attack, deflect, dodge. So dodge we can't even do. Smoke bombs we can't do. Throwing knives we can't do. Enemy agile, enemy brutes, enemy seekers. Special moves, unarmed combat, ranged weapons, which would cost 5,000. Long weapons, which cost 10,000. Two-handed weapons, pistol, and free fighting, which just brings here. Press to view the fight in the... So, does this guy take damage? I don't think he does. Oh, he does. Good. So, like the first game, you could do a small number of tutorials. It's about double, at least, here. But it's not really as necessary as you would think to actually do any of this. It's just if you want to practice their terrible system. And frankly, since this is the second time I played this game and I'm still pretty awful at it, I don't think anything would fix it. And I don't feel like I should blame myself for that.
Well done, Ezio.
I just want to get out of this area, but no. Let's see. How do you defeat this? I hit the button to start it again. And that's not really what I wanted to do. Maybe I should just let him kill me. He's not really doing any damage to me. So I was hitting X so fast that it just immediately continued to...
Such grace.
So I have to hit B here. And then hit B here.
It's best we take a break.
So, a little bit of pointlessness there. How can I get down to that? I could probably find the other little markers if I wanted to. And I bet there's some feathers also sitting around. So that's not a, let's see. That's the Minerva statue acquired. Okay. So I'd have to find 4 of those sitting around. I certainly could run around this area, but there's so many upgrades to get. Press this or A or B when next to a horse to ride it. Take your pick. Or just walk up to it. So what's here weird here, unlike the first game, there really isn't a an overworld. It's just a small road that's not gonna have any guards walking up and down the road or anything. It's just a good place where you could imagine that they probably would have their engine unloading that and loading Tuscany as you got closer, but it doesn't even really work that way, because watch, when we walk here, it's going to still take a while to load. See? And so we are in Tuscany. Tuscany, I believe, is more of an open area. There's a city in the middle of the map, but the rest of it kind of is flat land. There's some mercenaries we could hire. It's not worth your money, though, to hire mercenaries unless you really need them. So, much larger flat area than the first game. Just a nice big section where you could ride a horse if you wanted to. It's not super useful, or it really doesn't have any connection to the game, but it's there. It makes the world feel big, even though it really isn't. Here we go.
Ezio, what are you doing here?
Taking responsibility. Vieri troubles you because of me.
Vieri troubles us because he's a Templar, and we are assassins.
Either way, I wish to help.
Va bene. Then listen close. First, we must find a way inside the city, though it seems Vieri expects us. He has sealed the gates and sent his men to guard them. Fortunately for us, the city is larger than his host. The southern gate suffers for it, so this is where we'll strike. Pronti?
So, we're going to do a second assassination mission, finally. Look how it got dark outside immediately, just because that's what the story was decided to dictate. Now, I'm the only one, I think, that even has a hidden blade, by the way. That technology apparently was lost to time for the most part.
Alright, Ezio. Here's how it is going to work. My men and I will distract the guards. Once we have engaged them, get yourself over the wall and find a way to open the gate. Take these throwing knives. Use them to dispatch the archers.
I'm ready when you are.
Then let us begin.
So there's like no reason whatsoever to trust him with that ability. Like, even if you trained him. So, to throw a knife is this. Really? Trying to take out these guards. They start me off with 10 knives, which is quite a large amount, actually. Come on, throw it. I'm holding the left trigger, hitting them. There's one more guy. Trying not to have too much of a interaction here. Should I jump down the well? Not right now. That poor lady is just trying to escape. Help him out a little bit. How can you be hidden amongst a group of assassins? You think they would...
Ezio. We're in! This way, men!
They can't jump down. I tried.
I want you to distract those guards and keep them from raising the alarm. Hopefully it will buy me enough time to find and silence Vieri.
Va bene.
Wait, Nipote. Take a few of my men with you, just to be safe. Come join me once they're dealt with.
What's Vieri up to now?
So we're gonna just go kill the guards?
But something has him on edge. How else to explain all the patrols?
I'll signal again when you should follow.
Instead, he's turned us into nursemaids. And what?
Shooting his mouth off again.
Work your magic.
Angering the wrong sorts of people. And so now, we pay the price.
So I need my sword out immediately. You can only really stab them with your hidden blade if they're not fighting you. As soon as they get in the fighting stance, it's pointless. They have sped up the process. What would have been a 4-minute fight here is now barely 1 minute. If this was in the first game, that would have taken forever.
It's all about execution.
See, I could get some throwing knives back from this guy's. Of course, it's a real waste of time. There is an upgrade I believe you eventually get where you start finding more stuff on them. That tiny amount of money will soon be the only thing you need. Well, you won't even need that. You'll eventually have so much income coming in that you can just buy more throwing knives and buy more other things. Yeah, let's take a moment to climb up here. Nope, nope, nope. Darn it. You end up doing that a lot too. While this engine is kind of crazy in its ability to allow you to climb everywhere, to do it smoothly was certainly not mastered. You end up falling and jumping in the wrong direction, throwing knives in the wrong direction, always fighting the game just a little bit more than you should, which is not. You shouldn't have to fight the game at all. It should know your intention almost to the point where you're not even necessary to play the game. Now, from what I remember, you actually don't do that much in this area anyways.
I've traditional remedies and the wisdom of the Arabes. Wellness awaits.
My notoriety has gone up a little bit, but I actually need to run around and finish the mission. So, 211 gold versus getting 3 or 5 off of a dead guard. It clearly becomes obvious what is worth your time and what isn't. There we go. Area not available during memory. Well, no duh. Here he is.
Ezio! Your uncle's under attack and needs help. Go to him!
Here we go.
Ah, Nico, there you are. It seems my plan is something of a trap. Vieri's men ambushed us. Now we're gonna... My brothers and I will deal with these guys. I want you to go on ahead and root out that snake. See that justice is done.
So, find Ezio Auditore. No, find Vieri de Pazza. I'm Ezio Auditore. Ah, too many names. So somebody's chasing me, which is really no concern. My real concern here is to work my way towards this guy. I want to be a true assassin. I want to do that kill. Here he is. I want to do a sky kill with my hidden blade.
It's settled. Vieri, you will remain here to coordinate the mercenary. Francesco will organize our forces in the city and send word when it's time to strike. Jacopo, your job is to calm the citizens once the deed is done.
What of that ubriacone Mario? He continues to harass my forces, and I fear he'll discover what we intend.
He's always been trouble. Just like that bastardo brother of his.
Then let me reunite them, father.
There will be plenty of time to clean up the refuge when we're finished. Now, is there anything else? Muy bien. May the Father of Understanding guide you.
May the Father of Understanding guide you.
So we have 4
Comandante!
bad guys.
Comandante!
What?
Mario Auditore has invaded the city. He comes for you.
Then let's not keep him waiting.
So we got this fight, and our target is where? Where is he? I don't see him. He's like right here, according to this. Is he up here on this? Ah, here he is.
Now! Fear not, Ezio. I'll make sure you're dead.
Darn it.
Quick.
So I have to do this sword fight, which I think I had to do no matter what. I guess it's probably true because if I have throwing knives, I could have probably thrown a throwing knife at them if they were going to allow things like that. So again, I feel like I failed to be a true assassin. It's not... There, I used the health to heal all my damage there. It kind of makes sense I'm not really an assassin, so I wouldn't just immediately be able to pull off the cool moves that Altair could do. But that just makes me wish I was already trained and could do these things. And we get these cutscenes, but it's nowhere like before.
Is this what my father discovered? Is this why he was killed?
I'm sorry. Were you hoping for a confession?
Pezzo di merda! Vorrei solo che avesse sofferto di più! Hai avuto la fine che meritavi! Spero che
Enough, Ezio! Show some respect.
Respect? After all that's happened, do you think he would have shown either of us such kindness?
You are not Fieri. Do not become him. Che la morte ti dia le pace che cercavi. Requiesca in pace. Take this. Read it when you have the time. Our work here is finished. Let us return to the villa.
So you can see he's much more hate-filled than maybe Altair was, but Altair was pretty hate-filled too. Seems pretty much standard for assassins that they're going to want to have a good reason to kill a lot of people. We're getting all these things while the game is deciding to load us into different places. So that one cutscene gave us several new things, which will make it a lot easier now to play the game. Maybe we'll finally be able to get back to the open world elements. Maybe, maybe not.
Such unbelievable prices I have for you, schematically.
Do we move the story forward? I guess we might as well. He gave us a letter. So maybe we should... Let's see. Under the database, under documents, there was... We have page 3 and page 13. It's not even in order. Zoom the C image. Where's the zoom button? Ah, it's the image of the hidden blade and how it works. Interesting. And page 13 is... This page needs to be deciphered by Leonardo. Ah, letters. From... How many of these would read out loud? I'd have to almost look at the recent entries, and that wouldn't even make... That's not even working.
My love, I put these thoughts to paper in the hope that I might one day have the courage.
So each one of these will do some dialogue, but we're not going to go through any of that. That would just be a waste of time.
And here he is, our campione Ezio.
Oh, hey, Ezio! I see you wasted no time starting the celebration.
And why not? You've done us a great service, Nipote. With Vieri dead, La Toscana will grow quiet once more. Do you know what that means?
Basta lavorare.
Si passa tutto il giorno a bere.
E a puttane. What? It's true.
Come, Ezio, walk with me.
Yes, uncle.
Learn about the villain, discover the codex pages hidden there.
The Pazzi answer to another. Spaniard.
He is Rodrigo Borgia, one of the most powerful men in all of Europe, and leader of the Templar Order.
Which makes him responsible for the murder of my father and brothers.
Yes, and he will kill you too, given the chance.
Then I must stand against him if I wish to be free. But not until every other Templar has fallen to my blade. Father's list will guide me.
Where will you go next?
Firenze. Francesco de Pazzi will share the fate of his son.
A sensible next step. No doubt he intends evil for the city. All right, that's enough grim talk for one night. I'll be in my study if you need me.
So,
I shall read the letter my uncle gave me.
Let's see. So he really wants me to read this letter. Database, documents, letters from Mario. I have no idea. Maybe I should just walk into this area and move forward and see if it works. Should work.
Look familiar?
Oh, they're codex pages.
Yes. Your father managed to find and translate a few before he...
Here.
This is not your father's work. Someone else has translated it.
Leonardo da Vinci, a friend.
Do you see the way the words cross from one page to the next?
There is something underneath it all. Some kind of map. Where is it supposed to lead?
Your father and I managed to make out bits of a prophecy scrawled across these pages. It was written by an assassin like us, who long ago held a piece of Eden. His name was Altair. He spoke of something powerful and ancient hidden beneath the land.
What is it?
What indeed? Solving that little mystery is exactly why we collected these pages.
Then let me help. It's time I take on my father's work. All of it. I start with the page I took from Vieri. Leonardo will decode it for us.
Bene. Return here when time permits, and we'll add it to the wall.
So, Altair does have a direct effect, somewhat, barely, of this story. I almost have 10,000 Florence. Map photo. Use the map to locate objectives. You can also set your own GPS market in the Animus desktop. So, I have one of these. Let's see. I believe it must go over here. Place the statue. So, when we find all 4 of those statues, I'm sure we'll get something cool. Reach the villa's viewpoint. That shouldn't be too difficult to do. Although I've already done the villa's viewpoint, so this is extra work for me. No symbols to find. Interact. So potentially 5-6 hours into the game, you could have you could have for the first time synchronized. It feels like 2 people made the game at this point. It feels like this section was definitely made by one team that was supposed to be the beginning of the game, and then another part of everything before in the prologue section of sequence 1 and most of 2 were made by a different team who decided the prologue. In fact, you could have done a whole flashback sequence. Started with this this part. That's a much better way to start the game. And then through flashback had us do some of the things about what happened to our family.
Must be a drunken wager or something.
Let's see. One of the things that would be useful to do is to have a map that actually showed me things. There's a codex page way over there, and there's a codex page right in front of me, and a codex page on the other side. I'll drop down here. What's interesting about this area is its roundaboutness. There's many different levels. So it makes little sense that the codex would actually be in the sections of the city with just no protection or anything. But it does help you learn the concept of finding collectibles and getting them. No secret markers in this tunnel or that tunnel. I imagine there is some secrets here. Codex page 3. Now, the last codex page is way over here, which is going to require some special attention. Let's climb up here and get this feather. So unless I could get over the fence, the right move is to go this direction and out the front gate. Here's another statue. Here we go. So that's a fast travel station too. It might be worth it to look with your focus, but I guess you really can't use the vision, the eagle vision at all. It makes everything way too dark here. Where in the bright sunlight, when I do this, I can't see but a couple of feet in front of me. And you don't actually, I suppose, need to even run around with the eagle vision, because it tells you when you're close to. Let's see, let's just take this horse.
Yeah.
So now I have a little bit more gold, and I can wander around a little bit more. Can't jump off the horse, which is kind of a shame. I desperately need a feather map. That would be the difference between actually trying to get all 100 and just giving up, is if there's an actual map that goes to show you exactly where the feathers are. Here we can see a little secret tunnel that we'll deal with later, and some herky-jerkiness as the game is trying to decide whether the horse can walk up a hill or not. It's too fortified for a video game, this city. And then you do have a little open area like this, but there's not a lot that's going to happen in it. In fact, practically nothing. Just a few strewn around collectibles. And enough horses to never get you stuck away from an opportunity to leave fast. Suppose I could try and ride the horse in the city. Let's see how far we can get the horse to go. Oh, that's that far. There's an invisible wall for horses They refuse to go any further. I wish I could find the statues. It would take me a little bit of time. To run around this city and find the other two statues. You kind of need to stay on the ground looking for them. Stay on the ground but look upward. Is there one? Listen with your ears. There is some weirdness about the audio. Yeah, very directional in some places. I had to stand right behind, directly behind Mario to get it to equally play in both my ears. If I stood to the right of him, I would...
Whatever is on his mind, it must be important.
If I stood to the right of him, everything was in the right ear and the right channel of the audio, and if I stood on the left side... Hey, there we go. So here's another statue. Oh, so there's more statues to find. Darn it. I have one statue there. I can place these two. Place one there. Place these two. So Venus and Mars collected, and it gave me 2,000 gold, which is not a small amount. Not a small amount at all. So we need 1, 2. And we don't have any here. So 4 statues still to find. Which, if I could unlock a really good weapon, ideally a sword, then I could kill things real fast and help speed up that entire fight process, which is going to get repetitive really fast. I know it is. I think I already went up there. We'll place some more feathers. 5 feathers now. Apparently I'm supposed to be on the other floor. So here's your sister and how she comes into the story for the first real time.
Salute, Claudia.
Our uncle is un mostro. This is outrageous.
What's happened?
He's making me work. If Father was here, I'd never be stuck behind a desk like this.
And what are the terms of this supposed enslavement?
Since someone decided we're going to stay here, Zio Mario suggested we try and find the money to repair the villa. Problem is, there isn't any.
I bet I can bring in some money.
Oh, great. More work for me. Well, benissimo. If you start paying for improvements to the town, I'll keep track of them in this book. And since I have nothing better to do, I'll also make note of any objects you bring in from the outside. If you actually get this place up and running, travelers might visit and spend money. Although I doubt anyone will want to come this far out of the city. But if they do, I'll keep the money we make in this chest. You're going to have to show up to take it to the bank yourself. Because when it gets full, I'm just going to take the extra cash for myself. Capito?
Deal.
So, here's our summary of the shops. We have, we get 125 fiorins, fiore or whatever they are, every 20 minutes. For renovations, we get nothing right now. For our collections, we get 18 for every 20 minutes. And for our equipment, we get 18. So that equals 161%. We're 1% complete. Let's see, all shops are open. All shops are level 3. Gives us some bonuses. And let's see, all renovations being completed. It gives us a bonus. 7 of 30 codex pages we've already found. 5 of 100 feathers. So you know, if we were going to actually get everything done, we'd have to get all 100 feathers to get to 100%. We have 2 of 22 weapons, 1 of 4 of leather armor, 1 of nothing of any of the better armor classes. And right now the villa generates 161 florins every 20 minutes. The maximum capacity is 645. If we could collect the money right now if we wanted, but there isn't any. So she's just gonna steal any extra money that doesn't when this chest is full. So you do have to come back, which is kind of a weird mechanism. This almost feels like something you would have in a cell phone game by today's standards. Just like every 20 minutes come back and check the money you've earned and then play that kind of economics game. Let's talk to this guy.
Buongiorno. Is there something wrong?
Ser Mario hired me to deal with this mess, but I'm an architetto, not a miracle worker. Without money, I can't fix any of these buildings.
And if someone brought you money?
Then we'd be in business. You must be Ser Ezio. Am I right?
Uncle, I like this architetto.
He gets very observant when he can smell mud.
If you want to fix up this town, I'm going to need it. I have a price list here for new shops and renovations. Just bring me gold, make a choice, and I'll begin at once. If I build you a shop, you, as the landlord, can purchase goods there at lower rates. If you invest more money in the shop, you get an even greater discount. As for renovations, well, you'll be bringing the town and villa back to life. As Ser Mario tells me, that was very important to your great-great-grandfather. Plus, when you buy shops and renovations, you'll be increasing the number of people who visit, causing your income to increase. So, let's take a look, shall we?
So he just explained pretty much what we just were told by her. So, let's see. We kind of need to be a little bit smart here. Sells weapons and armory. Renovating will increase the city's value. Doctors. Let's start by moving the dumb mouse. Renovating will increase the value. Tailor sells clothes. Tailor is like the last thing you need. Renovating the brothel will increase the city's value. Reopening the mines will increase the city's value. Renovating the church will increase the city's value. Renovating that is the city's value. City's value. Okay. So the first thing I think we need to do is level this up. Can I level it up again? Not enough money. Darn it. Greatly increase the city's value. Or art merchant. Or like, but see, the blacksmith gives you the armor parts, so it makes way more sense to only renovate the blacksmith, and it almost makes no sense to renovate other things. There you go. We'll renovate the church. Can I afford anything else? Tailor would be 1,000. A bank would be 1,500. We'll get the bank renovated. And I can't afford anything else. So now if we go and talk to her.
Salute, Claudia.
You here to look at the book?
That's pretty much all she says for the rest of the game. 8% completed, and every 20 minutes I now get almost double the amount of income.
A presto, Ezio.
Of course, I only have 500 florins right now, so I can't buy a super powerful weapon, but that's alright. That's just fine. So it will be kind of a challenge, just a decision to make. Do I want to move the story forward, or do I want to see if I could get a treasure map and run around the city and get all the treasure? Honestly, if I ran back to this area and got all the treasure, it now makes a lot more sense. It would clear up the map. It would help quite a bit with all of that stuff. And so maybe I'll just move the story forward and go back to our original city, get all those treasure chests done. But we will have to do that in the next recording. That's going to be it for this recording. As always, I ask you to like, share, subscribe, comment if you want to, and watch every second of my videos. All of that helps me out. If you want to support me, you can click on my name, Rydo. On the right will be a blue button that says support this channel. Click it, make a donation. And if you want to friend or follow me on basically any social media sites, there's a whole bunch of links down below. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.